Hey, I'm Brody Brazil, and welcome to Teal Town After Dark.
Thanks so much, Brody. Good evening, Sharks fans. Man, it seems like it's been forever and 3 days since we had a regulation victory for the San Jose Sharks, but that is the case. The Sharks win 3-2 over the the Edmonton Oilers. Welcome one and all to Teal Town After Dark. This is your live and interactive Sharks postgame show. We do this after every single Sharks game, and you want to be a part of it? Here's how you can do it. Multiple ways to interact with us. Chat with us and fellow Sharks fans in the YouTube chat on the page or the app. You can also hit us up on the Twitter machine at tealtownusa. But of course, hit us up on all the social media stuff. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, SoundCloud, YouTube, you name it, you love it. We're part of it. And I want to say good evening to my fellow compadre, your favorite of mine, Mr. AJ Strong.
What up? I'm all totally stealthed out.
The Sharks. The Sharks are on a roll. They've won 2 out of 4. We'll call it.
Sure.
Sure. All right. Well, let's get into this game. Melker Karlsson makes his return to the lineup. Donskoy gets the healthy scratch on this evening. And boy, things didn't start out too great. 43 seconds in, Cassian takes a hooking call right off the get-go, sets up a power play for San Jose, which, of course, leads to a bad passing, high turnover to set up Draisaitl on the breakaway. He scores shorthanded the second time on this road trip that they give up a shorthanded goal at 2:03. Draisaitl, his 48th, makes it 1-0 Edmonton. What did you think of that one, AJ?
Oh, good for you.
Pretty much. All right.
Well,
moving.
How many times do you have to give up a goal in the first 5 minutes? And on the and it's shorthanded. For Pete's sakes, just how many times? How has this become a thing? It's mind-numbing that this continually happens. If it's a streak, if it's a weird glitch where it's like 6-7 games, well, hell, you can put together 7-game losing streak. You can put together a 7-game winning streak. A small streak, okay. This is like what? It's like 55 times in 65 games for Jones to do this. It's not. And obviously tonight was Dell, but
right.
This is a team thing. How do you not correct this, man?
At least you would think to get up and get going right off the get-go, especially when you have a power play just so early.
Yeah.
Well,
there's just a lot of things for me to take away from this in the fact that, like, how many Condors players were playing tonight for Edmonton? It's you got some call-ups getting in. We're talking about the Edmonton Oilers, Draisaitl, McDavid, RNH. That's like 65% of your offense right there. And how do you let Draisaitl score on you not once but twice? Like, these are literally the only 3 guys you have to slow down. So
yeah, and they pretty much are essentially a one-line team. And as mentioned before on the broadcast tonight, they're the 3rd team, at least in the modern era, to have 2 100-point scores and miss the playoffs. That's the 87-88 Nordiques, the 89-90 Penguins, who the following year won the Cup, and this year's Oilers. So,
well, give it up for Dell. Posted a .929 save percentage tonight. Okay. Again, I point back to you can't get you can't get too down in the dumps about some things, but you can't get too excited about others. And this is one that, okay, Dell had a strong night. He did make some strong saves. But as I said, playing a one-line team that has AHL call-ups. And conversely, the other side of the net is the Edmonton backup. So, you know, which isn't surprising if you go back and look at the game 2 nights ago that the Oilers played versus Colorado, where they had a 2-0 lead in the game and then proceeded to give up 6 straight goals, 4 of them coming in the second period. So I think after that happened to Koskinen, then it's kind of like, well, you might as well give Stolarz a look. I'm surprised we didn't see Starrett called up from the, you know,
from the Condors.
Yeah, just to give him a look in goal. I mean, it just seems like it's that time. And remember too, you know, we're talking about a franchise that is incredibly frustrated right now. You know, Connor McJesus, the captain of the team, has come out a couple days ago. You see he is insanely frustrated. He's rolling his eyes at any questions. They don't have they've got a placeholder GM in Gretzky. No, not that one, the other one. They've got a placeholder in Hitchcock. We know he's gone, and they figured that out a while ago that, maybe coaching wasn't the problem. Maybe we shouldn't have let T-Mac go because it wasn't his fault. So this franchise is in such disarray. Peter Chiarelli left it in shambles. I mean, his parting shot, giving a raise, like almost doubling the salary and giving a no-move clause to a goaltender that has had this type of a season. I mean, that's Chiarelli just burning it down as he walked out the door.
You know, what the funny thing was I was listening to the Steve Dangle podcast, and they were trying to figure out if anybody has bought out a contract that hasn't kicked in yet.
Well, the other thing you look at this too is remember what's his name? Kajula was traded was traded halfway through the season for Brandon freaking Manning, the guy who broke McDavid's collarbone. And what happens? He comes in, he plays 12 games, and now he's being paid to sit in the press box for the Condors. So, I mean, I can't believe she really sat there for as long as he did. But anyway, I can't get too insane. Am I happy the Sharks got to win? Absolutely. You like to see a little more. Anything would help build confidence in that regard. You're still having some bad habits, and you only got one more game to clean it up. So.
Well, let's continue on with the recap of the first period, 8:52, and Marcus Sorensen gets off of his schneid. He gets his 17th from Jumbo and Jake Middleton. For Jake Middleton, his first NHL point. Congratulations to Jake Middleton there. Another also historic with Joe Thornton. He now surpasses Steve Yzerman for 8th all-time on the assist list there at 8:52. So a huge goal all around to tie this one at 1-1.
Yeah, that was a pretty sweet, nifty pass from Mr. Jumbo right there. It was a good one.
And Sorensen buries the easy money right there. That was got a good lift underneath it. Very, very nice. And that could be, boy, I want to see what happens as we go into the playoffs. I mean, after 3 now, but after 2 consecutive starts, are we seeing Middleton supplant Ryan for the playoffs? I mean, what a story that would be.
Yeah, and Josh was all mentioning it in the chat. Jake Middleton +2 tonight, and I thought he had a few good blocks that prevented any dangerous scoring chances.
Yeah. Anybody, got Ryan's? See, and the whole thing is Chris is going to be the first one to tell you that plus minus as a stat is garbage. I mean, it's such a small, insignificant piece of a huge puzzle. But, I look at it as, did Middleton give away, 2? Was he directly responsible for 2 breakaways tonight like he was just a few games ago? No. So maybe Middleton's playing a little bit more sound. We shall see. I mean, you got to credit the coaching staff. Middleton got more time tonight than Tim Heed. So Middleton is, making a case for himself.
And that's huge too, especially down the road. As much as PDB loves sticking by his veterans in that one, like Al says, he was a -3 the game before. Slow down. We were playing Edmonton.
Yeah, exactly. We're playing Edmonton, and I'm seeing a couple people talking about Woodcroft coming in to replace Hitchcock. There's no way that they're bringing in Woodcroft after just one season with the Condors, despite the success that they're having down there. You know, I'm not saying that Edmonton's getting Quenneville, but you know, I'm just saying I think they're a bigger fish to fry, and like the Condors franchise, that's like the one thing that's working right now. So just leave it alone for a season, get your ducks in a row up in Alberta, and then you can start looking at what's happening in Bakersfield and
right.
Go from there.
And the irony of that, they would put a former assistant under Todd McClellan as the head coach.
Yes, that's the other reason why I kind of think that they don't go to Woodcroft, because I think the nerve is still raw. You know, I think the wound is still a little fresh from that. So that's another reason why I think they kind of stay away from that.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, let's move on. Just a little over a minute after Sorensen ties the game up, Brent Burns gets a shot that was more in and out than in and out drive-throughs. His 15th of the season from Hurdle. That gets him on 80 points on the night. You know, he becomes the first defenseman, I think, pick up 80 points since hitting the age of 34 since Nicholas Lidstrom.
Yeah, that's ridiculous. And dude, do me a favor, move your phone from wherever it is, because I keep hearing it vibrate. But yeah, Quenneville, okay, not going to Edmonton because they're too messed up right now. But then again, though, there are other teams, you know, or I shouldn't say other teams. There are other coaches that they have that God complex. They think they, you know, alone can come in and fix everything that's wrong. Or you know, I don't want to compare him to like Babcock in the situation in Toronto, but you know, there are some coaches that just have this thing that I can come in and I can, you know, I mean, I don't want to say it's like the inverse of like the Golden State Warriors, where they had all this talent but a horrible coach, and then they get a good coach and all of a sudden they're winning all the time. But it's just amazing that you have those key pieces and you still can't figure it out. I don't know. And especially when you take into account missing the playoffs 12 of the last 13 seasons, on top of the fact that you've had like the number one pick in the draft for like 5 out of the last 10 years. You know what I mean? and I
right.
know I'm clearly, you know, exaggerating. It just feels like they've had the number one pick 5 of the last 10 years.
It's one of those things where it's like, how can you screw this up even more?
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Joshua in the chat saying that Baker said that Middleton looked good tonight and wasn't noticeable, which is a good thing for a demon. Absolutely. You want to basically kind of pattern your game after you look over and see Brendan Dillon and say, yeah, I want to be like that dude.
Well, hey, if you're going to keep it up, then you know, yes, you were -3 Monday night Tuesday night against Vancouver. You pick it up, got to gain a little confidence, and this is kind of what we need for a tune-up, right? You know, maybe gain some confidence, get some positivity in the locker room, and kick things up a notch.
What are you, Guy Fieri, all of a sudden?
Oh, let's do some diners, drive-ins, and dives while we're at it, right? 12-11, Pavelski goes off for tripping. Oilers don't do much on the power play, despite how much firepower they do have. So that closes the book on the first period. 12-8 the shots in favor of San Jose. Face-offs. After getting destroyed in the face-off circle against Calgary, they had a nice bounce back against Vancouver a little bit, but this period 62-38 in favor of the Sharks on that one. Both teams were 0 for 1 on the power play. Decent start, gets back up on 2-1. I thought it was a good period all the way around. But as we've seen with this hockey, it could have been worse. We want to welcome those of you actually to Teal Town After Dark. Brody and Curtis are now off the air, so we are with you, take you the rest of the way home as the Sharks defeat the Oilers 3-2 up in northern Alberta. Their road portion of the regular season schedule is now completed. But do us a favor, we're recapping the game. Let's recap it with you. Join us in the super chat by all means, and of course hit that subscribe button down below, and also hit that bell that notifies you when we go on, and that also notifies you when we have a great interview like AJ did with Drew Armenda and Brody Brazil. Yes, a hat trick of personality in that one, so check that out.
Oh, yeah, okay. Dude, it's like easiest conversation ever. All it is so, hi guys, what's going on? And then I can just and not to say that I didn't totally love that, but oh my Lord. That was that was a great conversation to have. Let me let you know. Just to be in there, just kind of that fly on the wall, listening to these guys go back and forth and reminisce. And I mean, you talk about guys that I don't think they've talked in like a couple of years. So, and you could tell just from the way, from Drew's shock when he realized it was Brody on the phone. So yeah, if you get the opportunity after this, go check that out. It's also now been posted to the tealtownusa.com website and on all the audio channels, including now Spotify.
Absolutely. So go check that out after we're done, not during, after. It was a pretty good interview. I must say it was a good time all around. Moving on to the second period, 3:22 in. Leon Draisaitl does it again. His 49th from Benning, and McDavid ties it up at 2-2. However, PDB does some PDB things and decides to challenge the call. I'm judging by your shaking head that was a bad move.
Well, I just, I don't know who the local vidiot is, to coin a phrase from Drew, but how do you not see that he had, I mean, we saw this happen earlier with Kuhre in the season. I don't know why you would challenge that. He had control. Whatever. Again, whatever. One day you'll learn. I'm still not sure what that was about, but hey, you got in some more practice on the PK, boys.
Yeah, because of the goal stayed the same. Big Edmonton gets a penalty, Edmonton gets a power play. They don't do anything on it, thankfully. Then we had some shenaniganery. Timo Meier takes a rough hit by the goal line in the near corner with Lucic. Meier comes back, pops Sekera, which causes Lucic to lose his mind on a clean hit. And somehow out of all of that, it was even 4-on-4.
Yeah, I don't understand that at all. I don't get how Lucic didn't get extra for that. I honestly don't know. How the hell did Timo end up in the box? I have no idea. I mean, a hell of a night for Timo. I mean, he lays a clean hit. Yeah, Oilers fans talking about it was a clean hit. It was a solid hit. One of the reasons how you could tell that it was a clean hit is that Sekera popped right up and just kind of looked over and was just, like what? There was no dirt involved in that hit. And then Lucic flips his lid. Now, when you're making, $1 million a goal, I guess you got to do something else to impress the coaching staff. So to sit there and like flip your lid, I just thought was ridiculous. And granted, you can sit there and go, well, in real time and in fractions of a second, you can look at that hit and not know, or you might think that it could be dirty or something. So I'm going to go over there and do it. Timo is not known as a dirty player. If that was like Rafi Torres still on the Sharks doing that, then maybe you give the benefit of the doubt. But for that, I just thought that was ridiculous. I don't think the officiating was that great in this one. But it didn't help the Sharks win. It didn't help the Oilers lose. I just think it was not that great, and you would expect it to jump a level when you're this close to the playoffs. But, poor guy, Timo. It's like after all that, then he's tripped by Stolarz as he's going by the net, comes down awkwardly. Darnell Nurse falls on top of him. Looks like it's a wrist thing if you listen to the guys on Edmonton on their broadcast. Hopefully that's not hopefully that's a thing that you can tape up and ice it, and who knows if the Colorado game now at this point means nothing. The only exception being maybe if the Sharks, what's the deal now for, like, where are we at with the Western Conference final if everybody gets there? Did Winnipeg or
let me pull that up really quick, but I know Winnipeg was in a dogfight.
Well, no, wasn't Winnipeg playing Colorado tonight? And Colorado's in.
Yeah, so Colorado won in overtime 3-2. That's all they needed. They needed just to get to overtime to clinch a playoff spot. So the West top 8 is set. There's going to be some positioning in the Central,
but what's
and the wild card open.
What's the points right now for the Sharks and like the top 4? Here we go. See, Joshua's talking my talk right here. So Nashville at 98, Winnie and St. Louis both have 97. And where are the Sharks right now?
The Sharks are at 99.
99.
So with a game to go, they need 1 point. So
at least,
Saturday is 1 point. Well, no, because Nashville can top out at 100, but they have 42 rows. San Jose already has 45, so you just need 1 point to clinch that one. That's
all right. Well, either way, so there is some meaning to the Colorado game on Saturday. Alex saying Meyer is having an X-ray. Well, I would figure so. Boy.
And that was the same thing that we heard from Kevin Kurz. And this is per his Twitter. No real further info on Timo Meier. He was spotted exiting the X-ray room shortly after the end of the game, so you have to wonder if they're checking that left wrist. Stay tuned.
For Christ's sake. I mean, you got Pavelski missing 7 games. You've got Carlson missing, 17th consecutive tonight, topped off by the games. I mean, hell, he missed 2 for suspension. It was an earlier time stretch he was out. I mean, can we not? I mean, geez, you see all these injuries surrounding it, and the one thing you can kind of hold your hat onto as well, Joe's knees are still holding up, and no one's hurt hurdle yet. So, at least there's that. No one's drilled Couture in the grill. I mean, come on, can we just one time with the injuries? It's never a guy like Michael Haley taking the injury. You know what I mean?
He blocked the shot the other day.
Yeah, I know.
And the other day, and he was and he played out tonight.
Yeah, he got his usual 9 minutes tonight. Yeah, good for him. But that's what I'm saying. It's never a guy like Haley. It's never a guy like Gambrell. It's never Goodrow or something like that. It's always just, oh, come on, stop hurting our top guys, please.
Yeah. Joshua also mentioning, if Winnipeg wins their final game, they do tie the Sharks with 45 rows. That's true. So you kind of do have to get that 1 point, because that's the only way Winnipeg you would have to overtake the Sharks in that form.
Jerry saying maybe sit Hurdle and Jumbo next game. Dude, put him in bubble wrap. I mean, until the playoffs start. I'm fine with that.
Well, I wouldn't be surprised if something happens like that. But here's the catch. The Barracuda play at 1 o'clock early in that day. I can't see them calling up a bunch of Barracuda players to play in this game.
Why not? Who cares?
That's right. Let's play 2. Yeah,
I'm fine with it. There's such a thing as double headers. Don't be a wuss.
18:48 into the second period, Nyquist gets a tip of a Burns shot for his 21st of the year. I'm just saying, number 14 gets the game-winning goal.
But he also took a shot blocking that and left a little early after one of the periods. So,
Yep.
everybody's got the bumps and bruises this time of year.
Big time indeed. Third period broke down like this. Dylan gets a hooking call at 106. Edmonton Cave takes a hooking call midway through the third. Nothing else comes up of it. There was supposed to be a penalty called late in the game. That matters not.
Dude.
It didn't come up until the end, literally at the 20-minute mark.
No, the thing that is maddening about that, and real quickly, side note to the chat, Anthony saying the Avs may not dress all their top players in the last game because nothing can change for them with the seeding. That's very true. And does EK65 go Saturday night? Well, who knows? We've heard so many different stories. He's traveling with the team and he's taking pregame doing morning skates and doing. Look, we're just going to have to wait until Saturday. He's already said he's going to be good to go. So at the very least, we'll see him next Wednesday or Thursday. But back to the point about the penalties. No, that sequence, that's the thing that really drove me home about the crappy officiating tonight, was the fact that, well, let's see, McDavid got away with a couple things, but it's like, oh, well, of course, because it's McDavid. People don't put money in the wallets of Edmonton to watch him just hang out in the penalty box. Okay, fine. But he got away with a couple tonight. But the most egregious part I thought was so ridiculous is, like, with 30 seconds left, I think, somewhere in there was a call where I forget, I can't remember who, I don't know if it was McDavid. I think it actually probably was, but get away with something in the neutral zone. And even Baker calls it out and he goes, well, he gets away with one there, but, they're not going to call that at this point of the game. And then with no time left at the end of the game, they make a call. It's like, really? Like, Paul.
Yeah. And they do call it was Brent Burns hooking on Connor McDavid at the 20-minute mark. Not that it matters or anything, but that one was in the books, folks. The Sharks win 3-2. I believe it's the first time since March 11th they've won a game in regulation. Yikes. But a win is a win, and that's a huge one for the Sharks. They get to 99 points. Let's see here, my points here. 7 out of the last 8 games, the Sharks scored a power play goal. They're at 6th in the league. The PK has come around a little bit. They are, let's see, the Oilers go essentially 0 for 3, so they are 13 for 13 in their last 4 games on the PK. 15 of 16 in their last 6. So the PK has turned it around, AJ. That's always a good sign.
Again, I'm not going to get too amped out about it. It is, and I hate this phrase, but it is what it is. And the reason why I hate that phrase is because tell me when it isn't what it is. or that what it is and it isn't. I don't know, but either way, we got one left. Tonight was the penultimate game. We got one left. That's it. Just get through it healthy at this point. I don't even care if you lose 10-0. Just don't injure anybody. Just play fundamental hockey. Don't get hurt. And just get ready for Vegas.
And for that matter, Colorado's in the same build, and they're hoping they'll maybe get Landeskog back for maybe later in the first round. Something to look out for, but I can't see them wanting to, go full bore.
I'm really looking forward to being at the tank on Saturday night and seeing 2 teams play that their whole primary focus is to not get hurt. That just has all the recipe for a fantastic game. I mean, dear Lord, you might as well just put the goalies at center ice and just let them, Rochambeau.
Jerry F. Give Haley 30 minutes on Saturday.
I see no problem with that. I don't have
Anthony Sanchez says, don't the Sharks have to dress 10 NHL players? per rule. I would
have to dress them. They don't have to put them on the ice. They only have to be on the bench.
Rob Ivan saying Factor Fiction. Bebo starts against Colorado. I don't think that's going to be the case. I think
amazing amount of fiction. Oh wait, well, hold on. Wait. What was the specific question now?
Factor Fiction. Bebo starts against Colorado.
Okay. That is fact only if the Barracuda are playing the Eagles. There you go.
And they're playing Grand Rapids, so we're going to call that fiction.
Yeah.
So with Cherry F saying with our injury luck, make Saturday the Cuda versus the Eagles. Oh boy, man, that's it, AJ. That's it. Let's give the Cuda some playoff prep. Make them pretend like they got to go 3 overtimes in the game. Right?
I'm fine with that.
To me, I wouldn't be surprised if if Radil's ready to go, you see him come in, you see Gambrell, maybe you fill in with it. I think was it Burns, Dillon, LeBanc, and I wanted to say it's not Meyer, but there's only 4 players who've played all 81 so far. So that'll be an interesting one to see for sure on that one.
The other thing I think you need to take into consideration is that you've got Gambrell, there are some pieces, but yeah, it's Goodrow, Dillon, LeBanc, and Burns that have played all 81. Couture, a hot mess at 80 because of the flu. But anyway, you can limit some guys' minutes or whatever. You can up some other minutes. I don't expect to see Burns playing 26 minutes. That's not to say that he won't, but I don't expect to see that. I would, if this is literally a game that really doesn't mean anything, boom. And you're gonna, even if, and this is the thing, here's the reason why I don't think that Erik Karlsson plays on Saturday. Is I think they want to. I got to preface this differently. Erik Karlsson could play on Saturday, but I still think that Middleton gets another look. So maybe Braun gets sat, or maybe Heed gets sat. But it's only to give Middleton some more time, but also to get EK65 a game. You know what I mean?
In that case, would you put him with Vlasic in that sense, or would you put him in Dillon?
Middleton or
Karlsson?
Oh no, I automatically have EK65 penciled in with Dillon, dude. That's where he found his most success. That's where Dillon found his most success. I sandwich that back right up. Or you know what? You really have a good time with this, and you don't scratch anybody. Hear me out. Burns to forward.
Oh no. I shouldn't use him for that. Oh boy. Jerry F. say I at least had addition DeSimone and Kyle Wood. They've been playing good defense on the Cuda. Again, it's tough because again, the Sharks and Cuda are playing on the same day.
Well, the whole thing is if DeSimone and Wood haven't gotten a look yet, they're not going to get a look now. Not in the final game. And Chris, you pair EK65 with bubble wrap. Absolutely. Yeah, but I think you kind of go back to where you were. It's like you try to find a whisper, whether it's Middleton, and God love Shimmick doing everything he can to get healthy. If you don't follow him on Instagram, he grammed out, he's on a cycle, and you can see it's a couple weeks removed from the surgery and everything. But hey, he's working on getting back, and we can't wait to have him back. But I put Burns with Middleton. I keep Vlasic and Braun together, and EK65 and Dillon. And if Vlasic and Braun look abhorrent, you reduce their minutes. God knows EK65 should be well rested. He should be able to play 30 minutes a game.
Yeah, it's yes, but do we want to do a third 30-minute for Karlsson?
No, but you know what I'm saying. It's just
I know what you're saying. So, all right. So the Sharks win this one 3-2. They get to win number 45 on the campaign. And all of them, kudos to them, all of them have been in regulation overtime. They have not won in the shootout this year. So,
yeah, wow, great. They've sucked in the shootout. Well, I guess shootout doesn't matter in the playoffs. So,
yeah. And
no,
they really haven't been in many shootouts either.
They haven't been in many shootouts. Fun fact, they haven't scored a goal in the shootout this entire season. Not one. Zero. Nada. Zilch. What did I see in the chat? D. Simone got called up earlier in the year. Wouldn't surprise me. Wouldn't shock me if he got a game. Yeah, he got called up, but that's like a reward for doing well. And you're not, again, it's one of those things that I think if the Kuhre weren't playing on the same day, maybe D. Simone gets a call up as just kind of like a little bit of a reward and he watches a game from the press box. But you're not going to call up a guy when he can play that same day and get 18 to 20 minutes. So
yeah, and you're not gonna tire out your whole organization for that matter too. So final stats 28-27. Oilers out-edged the Sharks in the shots department. Face-offs, the Sharks win 58-42 in that one. Both teams go 0-for on the power play, 0-for-2 for the Sharks, 0-for-3 for the Oilers. Hits 24-15 in favor of San Jose. Blocks 16-7 in favor of San Jose, and unfortunately 15-9 in favor of giveaways went towards San Jose in that one. So
the thing
Middleton
that really pisses me off right now is that the Coyotes are beating the Golden Knights, yet the Coyotes are out of the playoff picture.
Yeah, unfortunately, we will get to that in the wraparound, but unfortunately, the Desert Dogs, will be going home. And virtually almost everything is set. Yes, 4-1 out for the Desert Dogs tonight, folks. Played a hard battle there for to keep their playoff hopes alive, and playing in front of a 2/3 of a T-Mobile arena. Wow, those greatest fans in the NHL there.
And cheers to the people at the NHL that thought it would be that 10 a.m. Eastern time in the morning would be a good time to release the playoff schedule. 7 a.m. Pacific. Yeah. Great job, guys. Way to keep pushing that stereotype of you having an East Coast bias.
Hey, at least we get it out early. We get it out at like a freaking 13 hours early than before, because how NHL Network draws this out, I don't think we heard about the Sharks and Ducks series up until like almost 9 o'clock at night when they start presenting these playoff schedules shows. And it's like, come on.
It'll be the same thing tomorrow. Instead of it being geez, do you remember when they said that, like, oh, we're going to be the NHL Network, they were revealing I think it was like the starters for the All-Star game, or like the All-Star picks or something like that. And it's 3 o'clock. I'm sorry, but I'm expecting that to then be like done by 3:20. And they didn't even start announcing it until 3:20. So while they sit there and go, oh, well, our NHL playoff schedule reveal at 10 a.m. Eastern, believe you can probably sleep in a good half an hour. They're going to spend so much time on the East talking about that, and then they'll finally get to the West and blah blah blah. Who cares? You're going to find out when you find out that morning. I'm not preparing coffee after being at a Sharks game the night before.
That's true. Nonetheless, one of us will be up. We'll go live once we know the schedule and get that over to you.
Hint, not going to be me. Spoiler.
So I apologize to all you fans of AJ. He will not be awake at that time. So, but you know what? It is time for something.
Have the goddamn common courtesy to give him a reach around.
It's wraparound. let's get to the action in the NHL. Buffalo wins 5-2, and AJ, close your ears.
Oh, dude, he's gone. No, dude, no. He's gonna be gone after this. This is like his last game at Buffalo. We can let it go, dude. Let it go. Wait till you see where he signs. Then we'll work on that. Nope. Let it go. I can't take it today. I can't do it. Not today, man. Not today.
Eichel gets his 28th. Hutton with the win. Sabres 5, Senators 2. The Toronto Bay Maple Bolts played an exhibition tonight. Oh, I'm sorry. That's the Tampa Bay Lightning and the Toronto Maple Leafs wearing the same damn uniform again.
And the chat has spoken.
I will give you reach around if you give me Palmanville. How's that? All right. Getting back to where I was. Tampa wins 3-1 over Toronto. Stamkos with his 44th, a shorthanded goal. Killorn and Kucherov. Kucherov hits the 40-goal mark. Vasilevsky with the win. Anderson with the loss. Marner, the only goal for the Leafs. In South Florida, former Shark.
Wait a minute. For the Maple Leafs, are they playing one more at home, or was that last one at home tonight?
I believe they have one more. Or no, they're in Montreal on Saturday.
So that was their last one.
Yeah.
You think that maybe that was the last game that Patrick Marleau plays in Toronto?
Well, no, because they have playoff games next week.
Well, you know what I mean, regular season and all.
It quite well could be. Barring a rooster trick in Montreal, he's not going to hit the 20-goal mark. So it could be an interesting one for Patty there.
I was going to say, for me, it's not even that. It's the case of just you look at his contract, you look at what the Toronto cap situation is. Just don't see Toronto, rolling with that. I'm not saying he's going to get bought out, but I think he's gone. And where do you see him going? That's my thing. Could you see the Sharks bringing him back if like Toronto eats half the salary or something? But either way, they gotta move salary in order
they gotta move more than half. It's gonna have to be a buyout for Toronto. In my mind.
Well, then it just makes you wonder, where would he end up? Because it's like, he clearly always wanted to play for Toronto. He did his Toronto thing, had a good time there. He clearly has bonded with Matthews and Marner and everybody up in there. But it just, I'm just saying it. Let me just throw out a few names and see if you can detect what these names have in common.
Okay.
Jeff Friesen, Sandis Ozolinsh, Jeff Norton, Scott Hannon, Brad Stewart. Are you detecting a pattern here? What do those 5 players, and I'm sure that I'm missing somebody. In fact, I know that I am. But what do those 5 players have in common?
Along with Jamie Baker, they were all reacquired by the San Jose organization.
Yes. So just now, granted,
points up for grabs right there.
Say what?
14 points up for grabs right there.
Yes. The reason why I just bring that up, because Doug Wilson brought back Stewart, brought back Hanner, brought back Friesen, brought back Ozolinsh. I don't believe, no, it was Lombardi, wasn't it, that brought back Norton like twice?
Yep.
Yeah. So, but anyway, it's not as if Wilson doesn't have a history of bringing guys back into the fold. We saw him bring back an aged out Hannon, a not the same Brad Stewart. I mean, so just saying, there is a precedent there, but we'll see. Patty to San Jose for Braun. I'm not opposed to that deal. I got to be honest. I'm not opposed to it. I am so not opposed to that
There
deal.
better be a pick coming back for that then.
Oh, I am
Or
not opposed to that.
Toronto takes up, or Toronto eats salary in that sense.
I don't know. I'm so not opposed to that. Because you still got to figure, you know, we're all looking forward to July 1st, so that first week of July, and we can finally figure out, is EK65 going to sign the deal with San Jose? Because if he does, then Doug Wilson has a whole bunch of finagling to do. He's got a lot of pieces to move. If he wants to get Thornton another year deal, if he wants to get Pavelski in, Timu, there's somebody else that I'm missing. And then you've got Dylan and Braun with 1 year remaining on their structure. And also take into account, kids, there is some talent down below that are going to be pushing for positions next season, whether it's Shemolevsky, Chekovic, Blickfeld, or the one that seems to be hiding under the radar, which I think could solve a lot of problems, Ryan Merkley. I don't know that he's going to be able to make the step that fast, but wouldn't it be interesting if he makes things a little more interesting come summertime?
And the new guy that we just got from
Stoneridge?
Stoneridge. I mean
yeah.
Maybe
That's
he goes, you know, so.
Because didn't Dell just get an extension earlier before this year?
Yeah, he got it at near the trade deadline last year.
Bye-bye. So yeah, it was fun having the world's okayest goalie, but it's time to move on to someone a little better than okay.
I completely agree, and especially if you're going after a Stanley Cup, you got to go after it and make it happen.
Mm-hmm. And Rob pointing out Merkley will be with the Kuhre next season. He may start there. We'll see where he finishes.
Yep. It all depends on what happens in the offseason for sure. Let's get back to the wraparound. Islanders 2, Panthers 1 in the shootout. Former Shark Thomas Greiss with the victory in that one. Montembeault, who, you know, made the Sharks look silly, gets the loss for the Panthers there. Penguins went.
He actually lost a game finally. Good for him.
Right. Penguins 4, Red Wings 1. Penguins finally clinched their playoff spot. They're in. Kessel with 2 goals. Crosby and Gensel. The other ones has Matt Murray gets the victory. Pumple gets on the score sheet for the first time this season. Howard with the loss in that one. A painful loss for the Montreal Canadiens. They lose 2-1 to the Capitals in regulation. Capitals clinch the Metro Division title with this win. Dowd with the game-winning goal early in the second there. Shane Weber with his 14th. Canadians on the outside looking in right now. You know who isn't on the outside looking in? Those bunch of jerks. The Carolina Hurricanes have clinched their first playoff spot in 10 years with a 3-1 victory over the New Jersey Devils. Fogle, Falk, and Niederreiter, your goals as the Canes will, congratulations, most likely you're facing Tampa Bay in round 1. Have fun with that.
That better be one hell of a storm surge.
Oh, man, and as they should. Blues 7, Flyers 3. My goodness, St. Louis is on a roll right now. Barbashev, O'Reilly, Steen, Maroon, Perron, Shen, and Steen again are your goal scorers. Brian Elliott, the former Blues goaltender who lost to the Sharks in the Western Conference Final in 2016 with the loss against the Blues in that one. In Nashville, Predators win 3-2 over the Vancouver Canucks. Johansson gets credited with the game-winning goal, and it was a fluky goal in that one, as the Canucks mercifully are going to see their season end maybe on a low note.
They've won enough games with fluky goals. It's nice that they eat one from a fluky goal.
Not right.
Anyway, CD Dango, it could be both fit in nice with the big club. Yeah, but I'm a guy I'm in the Cornash fan club. That's who I'm looking at. Rookie of the year for the Barracuda. That's who I'm staring at.
In Minnesota, the Wild get shut out by the Bruins 3-0. Pasternak picks up his 38th goal of the season. Former Shark Alex Stalock gets the loss in that one. A Great thing for Colorado, a bad thing for the Jets. Avalanche win 3-2 in overtime, just getting to overtime, clinch the playoff spot for the Colorado Avalanche. In this one, Erik Johnson gets the overtime winner a minute 49 in. Grubauer takes the loss, while Connor.
Oh, hello. Sorry, I'm spacing out. I'm looking at the chat right now.
Gotcha. That's fine. That's fine. The Jets do pick up a point, and we'll get to that, how significant it is right now. As we look at the standings in the NHL at this moment, you are looking at the Sharks picking up a big victory that gets them to 99 points on the season with 1 game to go. Winnipeg with the loss goes to 97. Nashville with the win jumps over Winnipeg at 98. So Nashville at 98, Winnipeg at 97, St. Louis at 97. Their next game are all on Saturday. Nashville will get Chicago. Winnipeg will be on the road in Arizona. Oh, how ironic there. And St. Louis will get Vancouver. Oh my, it could come down to the final game, and most likely that'll be the Arizona game to decide the Central Division and the seedings for that matter.
Right now, on the filed under if the playoffs started today, right now in the East, it's Tampa versus Columbus. I don't have a problem with that just because of the whole Tortorella storyline that will be driven into the ground. Right? Crazy current coach faces the former team where he was a crazy coach. So that could be an interesting matchup. And you've got Boston and Toronto. I'm sorry. As much firepower as Toronto has, I wouldn't be shocked if Boston took that in 5. Honestly, I think Boston I don't know. Toronto has also somewhat backed into the playoffs for me. Washington and Carolina. Defending Cup champs versus, bunch of jerks. Okay, I guess you have that storyline, but I don't know how compelled I am to follow that. Islanders versus Pittsburgh. Well, of course, we can all get behind that because of 2 things: Thomas Greiss and Sidney Crosby. And I don't know if you if you're looking at my camera the way that I counted that, but yeah, there's 2 storylines: Thomas Greiss and Sidney Crosby. Those are the 2 storylines that you have to look at there. Then over in the East, over in the West, Calgary versus Colorado. I'm sorry. Call me an Avs fan. And you talk to Hockey Jerk. Hockey Jerk and I, for the longest time, have been somewhat closet Flames fans, but maybe not this season. Not this season. Might be just because I think the road is going to go through Calgary. So, then Nashville and Dallas. Is that a compelling matchup? I'm not sure. But see, I think Dallas has a shot at that. Nashville has been marginal, or I don't want to say marginal, but they've been playing some mediocre hockey as of late, whereas the goalie tandem in Dallas has actually been playing well as of late. So you might catch a streaky Dallas club able to do something there. And then St. Louis and Winnipeg, both with 97 points. Remember, we're talking about a St. Louis club that was like in the basement last Thanksgiving.
They were worse than LA at the turn of the calendar year.
Yeah.
So they've gone on such a crazy run to and think about it, AJ. If things fall where they may for the Blues, they could be the top seed. They could host Dallas. I mean, my gosh. I mean, the only thing that's really set right now is essentially the Pacific. And that's still up in the air because Colorado has a slight chance to leapfrog Dallas.
Well, the funny thing is, though, is if you go back and like look at a lot of the Pacific Division previews, and if I remember correctly, when we did ours with Brody, that was the one thing that we could all kind of agree on was the Central. It was Nashville and Winnipeg are going to fight it out. St. Louis will probably be third, and then the rest will trickle in, whether it's a Dallas, whether it's a Minnesota, whatever. But our top three was that. But how great would it be, though, that we couldn't figure out who's going to finish 1 and 2, but we all agreed that it was going to be the Blues who were going to finish third. It'd be really funny if they came in and just won the entire thing. I think that would be hysterical.
And the funny thing is that I think a lot of us were trying to, we were saying once they required Ryan O'Reilly, you would think that they would have clinched a cup run, and surely didn't look like that way with Mike Yeo, but under Craig Berube. And man, there are so many stories that you could go with the Jack Adams Award. St. Louis is one of them.
Yeah, that's boy. Yeah, you make a strong case for that. But I am also wondering if that doesn't end up on Calgary's doorstep.
That too. You can go Calgary. You can go St. Louis. Obviously, you can go with Tampa in that one too.
Yeah, I don't know. Like Tampa seems like the easy. You know what? I bet. I think it's a case of like if Tampa doesn't make it to the Cup final, and especially if they do, but they lose in the final. If they don't get the Cup, I think then the Adams goes there. But if they do, then maybe you see it go somewhere else or something. I don't know.
But it's a regular season award, so they will vote before that's the catch.
Oh. Yeah, but I don't know. I've seen weirder, stranger things happen that it seems like stuff that shouldn't matter, that playoff stuff shouldn't matter, somehow kind of does.
Right.
But
so realistically, there's only 2 series that are guaranteed to go, and that's Sharks and Golden Knights and Leafs and freaking
the Bruins.
Boston. Yeah, I mean those are the only 2 that are set right now. So there's a lot of jockeying going on, and there's a lot of things that are going to happen between now and Saturday. Columbus has back-to-backs to close out the season. They could be in, they could be out, they could be the top wild card. So it's going to be a fun last 2 days of the regular season, and we'll be with you the rest of the way.
Yeah, but so Montreal has what? They have 1 at home remaining.
Montreal has 1 more game, and that's against Toronto.
Oh boy! And this game doesn't mean this game doesn't impact Toronto. So
nope, they're locked in as the number 3 seed in the Atlantic.
Yeah, so it makes me wonder. Oh boy, it's going to be interesting. But Columbus plays 2 away. Oh boy! Well, by Saturday night when we're sitting in the tank for Fan Appreciation Night, we'll know all of these things, and it'll be fait accompli. Because that's the other thing that I think is so funny too about this releasing the schedule at 10 a.m. in the East Coast BS. It's like, well, we already know what the matchups are. The only thing you're doing is saying, is it going to be on Wednesday or is it going to be on Thursday? Literally flip a coin. And if history is any indicator, the Sharks are going to play Thursday and Saturday.
Oh, please no.
I'm just saying that it's like, if history is any indicator, that's typically been how it's been. So we'll see. But then again, I can't remember the last time the Sharks played back-to-back games in Southern California, but that happened this year. So who knows?
Yeah. And for that matter, the schedules for both SAP Center and T-Mobile Arena, I think they have like 1 each within the next 2 weeks that are not hockey related. So it's quite conceivable that, we could start Wednesday, Friday. Hell, we could go Wednesday, Saturday if they really want to. But we'll see.
There's that. Are we going to the tank for Fan Appreciation? Oh, no, I'm sorry. It says, are you going to do the show from the tank for Fan Appreciation? We're working on it.
Yes.
We're working on it.
Yep. So we are working on it. We're hoping. Yes, Jerry. Jerry also saying, are we going to be on the Golf Channel or Bravo this year? That's right. Watch What Happens Live Hockey Edition with Andy Cohen following Sharks and Golden Knights after game 2.
See, that's another thing that you have to put at the feet of the NHL. Like, how can you not figure this out? Get your property seen. How is, I mean, come on. And then take advantage of Saturday, like it's okay. This might blow your mind. It could blow your mind. They play multiple games on the same day and they start at 10 a.m. Pacific and they go all the way until the night on every Sunday between September and December. I kid you not. This actually happens. Like, take advantage of that, like play a matinee, but play it on the damn East Coast, would you? Don't have my Sharks playing at 1 p.m. local time. You can have Pittsburgh and the Islanders or whatever playing their game at 1 p.m. local time, so we get 10 a.m. hockey. And then you get another game at 1, and then another game at 4, and another game at 7. I mean, you want to talk about hockey day in the USA. Hey, now.
Well, and also at the same time, I don't think anything of that nature will happen until later in the round when some series finish earlier than others. Like, I could see if it's game 6 and it's on a Saturday, yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if they bump it up to like noon or to like maybe 3 o'clock Pacific time. I can see that, but I think with all the games, and mind you, you're going to have games that start at like 4 o'clock. You're going to have games that start at 5 o'clock. Hell, the nightmare about having every game on for the Stanley Cup playoffs, you're going to have some Central Time Zone games that are going to start at 8:45.
Welcome to the NHL, boys.
So just be on the lookout for that. But I would think most of them are going to start at 7-ish and 7:30-ish.
I like the whole thing. It's like, well, we don't want to start a game on the Pacific time zone at 10 a.m. But announcing a schedule at 7 a.m., not a problem.
Well, hey, it gets the word out sooner in my mind.
Oh,
that's how I look at it and get it.
You want to get it out sooner than just announce it Saturday night.
Well, they got to wait. They don't know who's going to play.
They don't know who's going to play. All the matchups will be set in stone by Saturday night.
Well, hopefully they will, but it comes down to, I mean, again, Colorado can go into Saturday as we set up Saturday now. They can win and Dallas lose. They can leapfrog Dallas and play the winner of the Central.
Yeah, what's your point? We're all going to know this stuff on Saturday night. So in other words, my thing is they could announce it at 10 p.m. Pacific, 1 a.m. Eastern. How you like me now, East Coasters?
But the networks, though,
yeah,
they might have, Sportsnet might want, well, if it's Calgary and Dallas, then okay, maybe we'll wait for that one. If it's Calgary, Colorado, maybe we could because it's the old leagues.
Either way, it's just a whole thing for, it's just a big ratings thing that, and 10 a.m. I don't know why they can't do it at 1 o'clock, but the Pacific seems to get screwed for most of this stuff anyway, but so they'll announce it at 10 a.m., blah, blah, blah. And it's going to, let's be honest, it's going to be 60 minutes of just like, of millions of hockey fans going, oh my God, just say it already. Like stop jerking me around here. Just announce it for the love of Pete, and the whole thing too is like, if you want to announce it at 10 a.m., you don't even have to do a show. It's clear that, it's all about the ratings, but it's like, you know what, just say, hey, 10 a.m. Sunday morning, Eastern time, go check NHL.com. Everything will be posted there.
Yep.
It's the way it used to be.
Or I'll be jumping on once we have our schedule set. I'll be jumping on to the YouTube channel or the Periscope to go over it with you guys. So be on the lookout for that for sure. So
No, I was just
we'll
thinking,
let AJ sleep.
I could lock him out of the YouTube. No,
Lockout? Jeez. Way to be Gary Bettman there.
That said, I know we have a couple more things in the pipeline for everyone. Let's see. Oh yeah, we're going to be doing a little talk with the Sharks very, very, very soon. So hit subscribe. I think it's over there. Hit the subscribe button because we will have some more content coming out for you tomorrow. We're also planning a preview, little playoff primer with Brody Brazil, and we expect that to roll Tuesday, provided all the scheduling works out and the Athletics don't do something silly. But we plan to roll that. I'm not sure if that one's going to be live or not. I think it probably will. If I remember correctly, I thought Brody said he was going to bring a little bit of his rig to work. So anyway, expect that to happen. And then Saturday, fan appreciation night. Not sure how that broadcast is going to go with so many of us actually at the tank. There's like no one available at this point to like fire off the show because we have to do everything. But anyway, that's it. I'm AJ_strong on all the social media things. If you haven't seen it, we did have a great time with Brody Brazil and Drew Remenda yesterday. So go check that out. It's on all the streams, Spotify, Stitcher, iTunes, Google Play, TuneIn, everywhere. Go check that out. It's a lot of fun. About just over an hour long. But I'm sorry. I could listen to Drew Remenda read the phone book and be entertained as long as he just dropped in a story every once in a while or did a Russian accent after yesterday's interview. So yeah,
you have to check this out because it was absolutely hilarious. Just right off the get-go, it was great. So that's available at tealtownusa.com.
Blood. I want ambulance.
The silly kicking off story. So you got to check that out at tealtownusa.com or your favorite podcatcher, whether it's iTunes, Google Play, SoundCloud, Stitcher, TuneIn Radio, and Spotify now. Of course, always smash that subscribe button to our YouTube channel as we go live after every game.
Dude.
Yes.
Update the damn graphic, man. Where's my Spotify logo?
Oh my God. I knew you were going to say something about
I'm just saying.
Jeez.
It looks so pretty, but you're just missing something. But anyhow.
So, any final thoughts?
Yeah, he has all summer to fix his graphics, ladies and gentlemen. Update that graphic, noob. That's coming from Al.
Hey, Al, I'll update that graphic when you shut up about an email.
Oh, service and return. All right, wrap it up.
All right. Well, so we'll be back with you Saturday. We don't know the location yet. Following Sharks and Avalanche for Teal Town After Dark. It'll be, but once we do, we will let you know where we're at. We'll invite you to join us either way on the YouTube or in person. But that'll be great to see. Before you go, AJ, really quick while I wrap this up, see if there's any update on Timo Meier before we head out. But of course, we'll be back with you right then. As AJ,
bro, just for a second. Whenever the schedule comes out, it will be discussed. However, during one of those games that is taking place in Vegas, we will be having some sort of watch party. And if you can make it, by all means, come down. Well, I'm going to be there. I don't know if anybody else is going to show up, but I'm going to head out and I'm going to watch me some playoff hockey and probably have a couple of brews and maybe a couple of slices or something and just have a good time. And probably will maybe bring along the prize box and hand out some stuff. So just if you're interested, look out for that. I have one of two places in my mind. So it'll probably be either in Milpitas or Sunnyvale. But there you go. Because we know Stanley's will be packed. But
That's for sure.
Yeah. But anyway, yeah, if you want to come and hang, watch the game, and there you go. Just letting you know to keep an eye out for it. It's when the schedule comes out.
Absolutely. So we'll be back with you following Sharks and Avalanche. We'll know virtually everything as we're the last game on the NHL schedule for the regular season. And we'll get that info to you along with the schedule, previews, you name it, you love it. Stay with us. Tell all your friends. And we will see you Saturday night following Sharks and Avalanche. Until then, you can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at PuckGuy14. Had a really cool Throwback Thursday on my Instagram. Check it out. One of my most favorite memories at the Shark Tank. There's a primer for you to go check it out. We'll be back with you on Saturday night. And until then, keep it real, keep it teal, keep it real teal. Have a great night, everyone.
How you going to do that hockey?
Hey, everybody. Drew Remenda here. You're listening to another podcast from Teal Town, USA.